Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about
our experience with earthquakes.
Yeah, you know, for Eric said that there was an earthquake this morning.
Earthquake? You're gonna be kidding! I never felt an earthquake.
I know, that's what I said. He told me to actually woke him up last night. You know?
What?
Yeah. It was like, it happened at like 4:42 in the morning, so we must have sleeping. But I mean, it's possible that, you know, maybe even if I'm awake, I might not felt it, because, you know, maybe it wasn't felt, you know, this far north. But, I mean, that's what my leg when first thought about it.
Well, I guess it's not so far-fetched, considering we live in a major fault line here.
Yeah, but actually, I think this earthquake was a different fault line, because, you know, Eric lives just south of San Jose, and the earthquake he said was due east of San Jose, so he was obviously a lot closer up than we were, so I'm not even sure it was felt here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you know, I've experienced quite a few earthquakes in the past several years, but I've been living here now a little over 2 years. I think I will experience one here. It was really strange too. Each earthquake has been a completely different experience. But the one I felt here, I was standing outside a restaurant talking to AJ and another friend, and all of a sudden, it just felt like this shift. It's really hard to explain, but it made me think of like a cartoon, like how in a cartoon, like those buildings might just shift right and shift right back.
Yeah, without falling.
Yeah, without falling. I had no idea what was going on for a few minutes afterwards, and then I realized, oh, that must have been an earthquake.
Yeah, you know what I usually notice? The times that I've been at home, here, and there's been an earthquake, it's almost as if there's this really big train, or like a gigantic Mack truck going by, and suddenly I start to hear the gears shaking, and the noise is like, is loud for a second, and then it's gone.
That's so...
Yeah, it's really weird too, like, you know, the first couple of times I felt it. I wasn't even aware it was an earthquake while it was happening. And we'll show you some pictures and videos of earthquakes that have happened.
Yeah, that was intense. Well, the one I experienced in Bangkok, it actually was after the tsunami. And so later I found out that it was aftershock from the tsunami. But anyway, I was in the building up on the 9th floor, and suddenly there was all this rattling. And I'm thinking to myself, it was so rushed, and I'm thinking to myself, God, it's like a train going by, and I can't believe that this building is shaking so much from the train. And of course a train would have made the building, or at least me up on the 9th floor, feel something to that effect. And I think it happened about 2 times, and that one wasn't until several days later, when I was talking to people and they were like, oh, did you feel the earthquake? Then it dawned at me, oh, that was an earthquake.
Yeah, it's crazy how we're not used to feeling them, you can think it's something else. And you know, I've been living here for a while now, and I've definitely felt my share of earthquakes. I mean, when you live here, it's a given that you're gonna experience earthquakes. But you just hope it's not gonna be here for the big one, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. When I first moved here, it was about 5 years after the Loma Prieta earthquake, which was a very big earthquake here. And there are people who lived here, who I met, who had actually been living in the area when the earthquake hit. So it was interesting to get their perspective.
At the tone, Pacific Daylight Time will be 5, 4, and 30 seconds.
So the Oakland A's take.
Hey, what, we're having an earthquake.
Have you gotten word about the Bay Bridge?
What about the Bay Bridge? What's wrong with it?
The upper deck appears to have collapsed during that earthquake.
Hold on a second.
We are flying over the seismic structure right now. That section of highway that connects the Bay Bridge to 880.
I don't believe it. Man.
And it also like made me remember where I was when I heard about the earthquake. I was watching the World Series on TV, and it was taking place in San Francisco. So as I'm watching it, suddenly the announcer starts saying, "Wow, I think we're feeling an earthquake here," and the camera starts shaking. And all of a sudden, the TV coverage cut out. So I want to get a rundown of what happened. So I turned to the news station, and within a few minutes, they were discussing this gigantic earthquake that hit San Francisco. And they started showing pictures, like maybe 30 minutes later, of these people that were trying to weed through the rubble of this building that had been coming down. So it was, it was pretty scary, I'll tell you that.
Well, 3 months I was living in Japan, I experienced too. Both of those were very different from the one I experienced here, and also very different from the one at Hancock. But one of them, I was actually in my apartment, which was in the 5th floor of the building, and when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, the building was swaying, because earthquakes, like a dime a dozen in Japan, they built a lot of buildings to absorb the shock. So that's why it was swaying. It was very surreal feel.
So this is the end of our episode. I hope you like it.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel.
This is the end, and goodbye.